Uh, so like we said, Chris Sale is having Tommy John surgery. We're gonna talk about the effects it has a little bit on the Red Sox. But before we get into that, we want to clarify what's going on here. Obviously, we're not in the studio we were in last week.
Correct.
COVID-19 has forced us to move indoors as well, so we're doing this from each other's homes, having a good time. We're gonna
That's
keep
right.
bringing you some weekly sports, but just know in the coming weeks ahead, this is what we're going to look like.
We're still going to rock and roll and bring you those. We're going to bring you those stories, let you know, give our opinions on certain things and all the good stuff.
But yeah, getting right back into Chris Sale. I mean, Chris Sale's having off-season Tommy John surgery. It's pretty obvious what that means for Chris Sale. He's going to be out for the year. He'll come back. Tommy John's a pretty successful surgery, so he'll probably be okay. But Tanner, what do you think this means for the Red Sox as a team, as he's their ace?
Well, you and me have talked about this a little bit before. With the Red Sox, last year was not their best year. This isn't really a rebuilding year for them, but it's just the next step right after that. So if there was a year for Chris Sale to have to go through this Tommy John surgery, this upcoming year would be the best for that. It'll give him a chance to kind of recover, take some time, get back to that pitching speed that we've seen him perform at. So it's going to affect them a little bit. But again, of all the years, this would be the season for Chris Sale to have to go through this.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that the Red Sox are not exactly tanking or rebuilding, but they traded away Mookie Betts this offseason for not much. Trading one of the top 4 or 5 players in baseball, and they didn't really get much back. And they're trying to get under the cap, so Chris Sale will miss the year. The Red Sox won't be great. They're wrapped into that cheating scandal or sign stealing scandal that the Astros are really headlining due to the fact that their former manager, Alex Cora, was the bench coach at the Astros the first year they did it, and then in theory brought it to the Red Sox. So we'll see what kind of happens. They have a new manager. It's going to be a new year. They're not going to be as good as they have been the last couple of years. So Tommy John surgery, never great. You never want to see a player injured, but probably arguably the better year to have Chris Sale miss.
Yeah, I mean, and we look back to the Red Sox last year, 84 and 78, which was third in the AL East. So behind the Rays and the Yankees, who both had fantastic years. But again, so right in that middle of the spot, which that's assuming with however the season starts and also finishes, could be around the same spot, depending on how the situation goes. But again, as we look at Chris Sale, last year, 6-11, average 4.40 ERA. So again, like you said, it's going to really be okay for the Red Sox in terms of this would be the year for him to go through this, give a chance again to kind of get back to that speed. So the most important thing for Chris Sale is, again, take your time. This is the year that you want to have to find your way back like you did last year.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what the Red Sox do going forward as a team. Also, I mean, they won the World Series only 2 seasons ago. Last year, they didn't make the playoffs. Started poorly, almost made the playoffs there at the end. They had a push there at the end a little bit, but 84 wins just doesn't really get you into the playoffs anymore in Major League Baseball. It'll be tough it'll be a tough year for the Red Sox, I think. Chris Sale should come back healthy, I think, as well. Tommy John surgery is a pretty intensive surgery in a lot of ways, but
definitely, yeah.
But it also doesn't mean that it's the end of his career. It's a lot of players actually throw harder after they have Tommy John surgery. So we'll see what happens. I'm curious where the Red Sox will be as a team in general. Also, obviously we'll keep track of that with the recovery of Chris Sale, but I think he'll come back as good, if not even a little bit better, as it seems like a lot of players are doing after injuries now, major injuries, ACL tears, Tommy John surgery, MCL tears, things like that. Yeah.
Well, I know, and I just recently saw this with Ben Roethlisberger after his surgery that it's been bugging him. He was throwing it. It says that it's the best that it's felt in a very long time for him. So, does he think it's back to that game speed? As of right now, it's definitely not. It's going to take some time for Ben to get that back, just like how it will for Chris Sale. So the surgery, I think, is much needed. And again, if there was a time to have it, this is the season for him.